water signs, this is Catherine. Welcome to my channel, Oracle Intuitions. This is a weekly reading for Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. So we're going to be looking into upcoming energies for relationships, career, or inspiration, spirit. And this is going to be for June 14th to the 21st of this month. So timelines for each sign are going to be below in the description box, as well as my Facebook, Instagram, web page if anyone's looking for a personal reading. Those are all down below as well, and along with the cards that I'm going to be using today. Please remember that these are general readings and they may not resonate with everyone. We're going to be starting off with our Cancer signs. Okay, so we're looking into relationships, career, and spirit. And then we're going to be closing off with a message from the universe specifically for you, for your sign for this week. All right. Relationships, career. Look at that. I'm going to take those. Relationships. Let's look into career or inspiration. So career doesn't need to be career. Career can actually, like with the inspiration, it could be goals of some sort, okay? Or maybe something that inspires you that you've been thinking about starting or looking into. And spirit. So career. This is for Cancer. Spirit. We're also going to be doing some clarifying cards. So right away, what I'm getting here with this Five of Cups energy, Cancer, I feel like, okay, so the energy that's coming in with this Five of Cups energy right now, you might have been in a place of sadness, or real, like, I also want to say here, you may have been looking at some of your choices in regards to relationships, or maybe things that you or somebody else has done in relationships. I feel like this real sense of releasing, though, and sadness coming through, especially with this Emperor card. I feel like you guys are doing a lot of releasing. I almost feel like for some of you, one of the things that I'm hearing is, I'm going to be okay on my own if I choose, if I choose not to go forward, like within a relationship. And that doesn't mean that a relationship won't come through. It's just that you're making that choice, that you are going to be okay. I feel like for some of you, you might even be letting go of a relationship, or the idea of specifics within a relationship. Now, that doesn't mean that you're settling for anything. It just means that you might have had some very specific things that you were seeking within a relationship, and now you're sort of looking at it and going, I could probably open up my choices a little bit. I'm still in charge of what it is that I bring forth, or who it is that I decide that I want to be with, but I might be letting go of some of my real demands within a relationship. You might also be looking at things that people might have demanded from you in relationships. Like maybe you felt that this sadness coming through, maybe you felt that you weren't acceptable. I don't know if that's the right word. I almost feel like people might have had expectations of you that you felt that you couldn't meet sometimes within relationships, is what I'm getting. But now you're taking control of that. And I feel like a renewed sense of balance coming in for you, especially with this Emperor card. You're taking charge of, I feel like for some of you, relationships, I feel even for some of you in a current situation, there might be a little bit of sadness or struggle, and you're kind of wondering if this is the relationship for you, okay? And I do feel that doesn't mean that you're going to be letting go of that relationship. I just feel you're going to start taking more charge towards a relationship, or some sort of element, possibly even within that relationship. This is what I'm getting. This is just opening. So we're going to do some clarifying cards in regards to that. But I do feel like you're taking this energy of the Emperor and bringing it forward. It's almost as though there may have been even people around you that or that you know, possibly yourself may have dealt with some sort of substance, or, you know, abuse type of situation. I'm getting, you know, I'm getting for some of you that might resonate, and you're looking at this and going, I'm letting this go. I'm taking charge of this now. I'm taking charge of whatever it is that was bringing me to this place of sadness. This could be external as well, like other people that are trying to interfere within your relationship, and you're now taking that step up and going, no, 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 no. This is my relationship. You go find your own. But I felt that at some point it might have brought you to this place of sadness, okay? Or frustration even. So looking into career and inspiration, I feel like for some of you, you might be looking into a possible new career, or there's been something that has really inspired you to move forward. I'm getting this Four of Wands energy, which is all about like contentment and you know, this place of feeling like you're in a really good positive place. And this Ten of Swords is coming in. I feel like for some of you, you might have left a job, or you're thinking about leaving a job in order to seek a stronger, you know, commitment within another position somewhere. That is sort of what I'm getting through. You also might be letting go of elements of your current career or job in order to gain that sense of contentment. So it doesn't mean that you're maybe leaving a job in particular, but you might be leaving elements of it. Something that wasn't making you happy, something that wasn't giving you that fulfillment. I feel like you might have been taking a look at things within, you know, your career or job or inspiration and going, I feel like for some of you, it was stubborn of you to let them go. Like there was a little bit of stubbornness behind you that, or from somebody else. Again, take that as it resonates. But I feel like, you know, once you kind of let go of that stubbornness, because I feel like that stubbornness might have created some sort of, you know, sense of a cycle kind of going on. It's like, why aren't I going further in this career, job, whatever it is that you're seeking, this inspiration or achievement? So why aren't I going further? Because I feel like I'm doing all the right things, but there might have been that one element. And again, this, you know, drawing this in also from relationships that you needed to let go of, and you're going to recognize it, and it will help you seek that contentment. So that might be something that you really need to take a look at. But again, we're going to be doing some clarifying on these. So we've got this Queen of Swords. This is for spirit. Queen of Swords coming through, this Eight of Wands coming through, as well as this Knight of Cups. So that Queen of Swords, she can be very, you know, she can be a very unforgiving type of person, but at the same time, she's very focused on what it is that she wants within her life, like her career, her love life, all of these things. So I feel like for some of you, this might have also been a process of recognizing what it is that you're truly seeking, and you're ready to cut out the elements that you don't. And through this process, you're going to see, with this Eight of Wands and this Knight of Cups energy, you're going to see, you know, this week, things really improving, but really moving quickly towards what it is that is giving you this contentment. Okay, now remember, that might not happen immediately within this week. For some of you it will. It depends on really how much you do the work, you know, that it is within you. But this also could be the start of that new energy, is what I'm getting. Okay, for some of you, there might be an offer that is coming through that will give you that contentment that you're seeking, whether this is within a relationship, job, career, love life, some sort of thing. I feel like for some of you, you might be receiving an offer that is going to, you may have to look at it in an you may have to look at it when it comes through, or you may feel like you need to look at it in sort of this Queen of Swords energy, where it's an emotional, but you look at it very truthfully, you look at it very straight on, you look at it for what it is, and you may or may not accept it. But I do feel that either way, you're going to have this sense of that contentment, that that happiness. You might even be debating if it is something, some sort of offer it is that you have to turn down at this current point, and you're wondering if that will seek you the contentment. And it's really saying here, I feel like you need to go into yourself and really look at the choices that are being offered to you at this point. So we're going to do some clarifying cards. I want to clarify that that Five of Cups energy. For relationships. Now, relationships, they don't need to be love life. They can be relationships around you. I'm in trouble. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Knight of Wands. Knight of Cups again. And Knight of Pentacles. I feel like for some of you, you have a goal, and it might be, again, a goal within your relationships where you're looking at where it is that, you know, you're seeking that happiness, you're seeking true contentment, true fulfillment. And I am getting here that I'm really getting that for some of you, this may have already happened, but I feel like this energy is going to come through. You might be looking at some of your choices, or you might be looking at choices that people have offered you, and you're wondering, you know, again, if that's going to bring you that true happiness or achievement that it is that you're seeking. I feel like now you're taking that charge of your own, not only your emotions, but it almost feels like you're not letting the emotions of others affect you anymore. This is what I'm really getting. You're taking charge. You understand that the process of finding that true contentment and that happiness is work, okay? Especially with this Knight of Pentacles coming through. You know, it sometimes it doesn't happen immediately as soon as you snap your fingers, but at the same time, you're also recognizing that it is, even though it can be a slow and steady progress, you are progressing towards what it is that you're seeking, is what I'm getting here. That Knight of Cups again coming through. I feel like there might be some sort of offer towards some of you. Now, if you're in a relationship, this could be your partner, you know, offering you some sort of sense of renewal, or it could be, you know, some sort of offer in regards to your relationship. It could even be an offer, you know, something that will give you some sort of happiness. For those of you that are single or seeking a relationship, I am getting this sense that you're looking again at those past choices, or choices that you may have made in the past, and really seeing them for what they are and moving forward to find, and you're taking, you know, one step at a time. You're taking now control of your love life instead of letting possibly others probably may have taken control of your love life for you, okay? We're going to clarify. I want to clarify this Ten of Swords for career is what I get. So we're clarifying that Ten of Swords for career inspiration for Cancers. I feel for some of you, this could be an emotional week too, but you know, not in a negative particular way, although some of it may be, as we're doing some, you know, self-cleansing internally. But I also feel as you're releasing, you're also receiving this strength that comes through it. So it's like you're filling up your cup with your own self-worth and self-esteem rather than other people's words or opinions, is what I'm really getting. So we're clarifying this Ten of Swords. We've got that Six of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Cups. And we have the Empress. Yeah, you guys are taking care of yourselves now. You're looking at things with career and, again, inspiration. And this can also, of course, lead to relationships as well. But it feels like for some of you, you might have been giving in regards to your career. Or you're looking at things in a different manner. Like you might be looking at them going, well, I was sort of stubborn in the way that I was doing things, but I feel like if I release this little element, I'm going to, it's funny because when I'm looking at the Six of Pentacles, this is all about, you know, give and take, give and take. And I feel like there might have been an element within that give and take. Now, whether this is you giving too much or whether you know, possibly taking too much, maybe you charge too much, there's some sort of give and take that you need to take a look at, which is going to be, you may need to remove one of these elements and take that as it resonates in whatever way it resonates with you. But I do feel that through this little bit of process, I feel that for some of you, you might have been giving too much. Okay, because we do have this Empress coming through. We do have this letting go of cycles. Maybe you were giving too much. And it's now time to draw back that energy and really look at what is going to give you that sense of contentment within your job, career, achievement, focus, goals, whatever it is that, you know, this is relating to at this time. I really like this because, again, there is going to involve some sense of I do feel some sadness because you might be looking at your choices and going, why did I make that choice? But remember that whatever our choices are, whatever it is that what choices we've made, we've done so because we thought that we were doing the right thing at the time. And I feel like for some of you, you need to know that. Okay, like you don't need to be kicking yourself. Try to take a real objective look towards it, because that's where that Queen of Swords is coming through. The Queen of Swords doesn't sit there and get lost into the emotions of the thing. She just goes ahead and does what it is that she needs to cut out. The Queen of Swords kind of reminds me of the you know, in Alice in Wonderland, you know, like off with their heads, you know, that's what I want you to kind of take that Queen of Swords attitude with in regards to cutting things out. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to cut out particular people or anything like that, although that could resonate. But I do feel this Queen of Swords energy is really coming through and saying, just look at things objectively and then, you know, cord cut it. Cut the cord on that, because it's no longer necessary in order for your development forward, is what I'm getting. Especially with this Eight of Wands and that Knight of Cups. As soon as you like cut the cords to whatever it was that was holding you back, or those feelings of sadness, or even some of the choices that you might have made that weren't necessary, the best choices possibly, or the way that you were looking at things, or even things that people may have possibly done to you or tried to bring, you know, up to you. I feel like once you let go of that, things just make that change. And then we've got that Ten of Swords coming in here where it's the end. So just end that. You know, cut the cord to it and move on is really what it's saying. Because once you allow it, and once you really let those cords be cut, once you really let the cords end, you know, fall away, things really start progressing in a different manner. So we're going to clarify this Knight of Cups, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Wands, and the King of Swords. Yeah, you know, it's funny here because we've got this King of Swords and Queen of Swords, and I feel like for some of you, this could indicate a real power couple. Whether this is what you're seeking, or maybe you're currently in this type of relationship, but I feel like these two people together, when I look at them, they're like a power couple to me. They really complement each other. They, you know, they don't sit there and wallow in their emotions. They don't get into petty little arguments, because both of them understand what it takes to build a relationship and move it forward. This is what I get from them. They have a good relationship simply because they take each thing as not a personal insult or anything like that. They just say what they have to say. They're very, you know, they're very honest and truthful with what they what it is that they are speaking. So what I'm getting here, and it's funny because this Queen of Swords, she's sort of in blue too, and for me it's like a throat chakra, right? So, you know, speak your truth is what I'm getting. So if you are having some sort of issue within your relationship, I'm actually picking up it might be time to speak the truth towards it. I feel like your partner may listen objectively. okay? And if not, you know, then you have to make those choices. That could be, you know, the sadness that it is that, you know, I was picking up on. But it also feels like there is going to be a change for the positive. I do feel that speaking your truth, whether this is toward a current partner or possibly, you know, to one that you're trying to bring in, or a future partner, it, you know, it does really talk about speaking from the heart, speaking your truth, because this is going to bring you that success that it is that you're looking for. Feel like a lot of things, like a lot of this cutting away of old ties is going to bring that change. This Wheel of Fortune is the change. It's a positive change forward. And then we've got the Six of Wands, which is like the victory card. Okay, and if we look at it, we're also looking at that Knight of Cups, like some sort of positive, beautiful offer coming forward, but it has to do with that internal or possibly external change that will bring it into this place of victory. All right, this is what I'm getting for you Cancers this week. I feel like this is going to be a power week for you, and I feel like even with that the King and the Queen of Swords coming through, I feel like this is going to be a powerful week for you. It's a power within yourself, like your own self-recognition is what I'm getting. So we're going to look into, this is cards from the universe, so this could be a message from your spirit guides, your angels. It could be just something for you to focus on. All right, and one more. Our final message for Cancer for the week ahead, for June 24th to the 21st. I feel like this little one who keeps trying to sneak away. Listen, it says here, you have to be willing to listen if you really want to understand someone. Now is not the time to be offering advice, but be a compassionate listener. To listen fully and intently means to pay attention not just to what is being said, but to what lies beneath the words. So I do feel like this resonates with the reading that we actually just had for you, Cancer. And the reason is I feel that, again, we come back to that throat chakra. So I feel like you also need to listen to what it is that you're saying, okay? If you're not coming from that place of, you know, what is truly inside of you, you're not really, you know, allowing that throat chakra to speak. But I'm also feeling that you're not allowing yourself to hear what it is that your guides, angels, or possibly even your partner has to say. Again, coming back to that Queen of Swords energy, I feel like, you know, for some of you, this may resonate where you need to speak the truth to somebody in regards to some sort of situation or issues. And now this could be with career, you know, relationships, however it is that resonates with you. But I do feel that you also need to listen to what the other person has to say, or again, what it is that's inside of you, your own inner voice. Okay, so I truly hope that that has helped, Cancer, and we're going to go into Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpios, this is your energy reading for relationships, career, spirit for June 14th to the 21st. Going to start off with relationships, Eight of Pentacles, the Magician, the Justice card. Careers, we've got the Page of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles. In spirit, we have the Ace of Pentacles. I like this. There's a lot of pentacles in here. The Hermit, and Page of Swords. Interesting. Okay, so Scorpios, what I'm getting here is so some of this Libra's coming through, this Justice card, that might be some of you are dealing with Libras. Could be some sort of, you know, air sign, Gemini, Aquarius. but I'm getting here for relationships. It feels like you've been working hard towards a goal of some sort. I'm also getting you need to learn to balance yourself this week, Scorpio, is what I'm getting. I'm getting actually that this might, I mean, for some of you, you know, an air sign of some sort might relate, but I'm getting that there's this sense of balance that you need to find within you. I feel some of you have been working really hard in regards to not maybe possibly balancing yourself, but this also could be that you're more concentrated in on some sort of career aspect at this time. I'm really also getting here too that I feel like I need to switch those, and I don't know why. It just seems like I feel like you have the tools within you to balance yourself. I feel like for some of you, you've been sort of unbalanced in regards to relationships. And again, it might have to do, you know, with maybe putting too much work in, or maybe you're trying to figure out a situation. I almost see the scales like this. So I feel like one day you're like this, one day you're like that. You're trying to balance yourself out. And it feels like you might also be trying to make choices in regards to relationships. But the thing is that you're going to have to figure out first is yourself, is what I'm getting. I feel like for some of you, there might be some sort of, there might be a three-party situation in here, which is like this magician coming through. He can be a bit of a player. Or, you know, I'm not trying to call Scorpio a player. I don't mean it like that, but I mean, you're unbalanced within some of your emotions at this point in time is what I'm trying to say. I didn't mean that you're a player, but it kind of gives that energy of not really making a decision and kind of kind of just allowing things to happen as you think that they're supposed to happen, but at the same time, I'm feeling some unbalance in here. Like you may need to really work towards making a decision within relationships in some manner. So we're going to get some clarifying cards regarding that. And again, remember, take this as it resonates. It may not resonate with everyone, and that's perfectly okay. So we're looking at careers. I feel like some sort of I feel like for some of you, you're getting a little frustrated with something that you're trying to achieve at the moment. And I feel like you guys have been putting a lot of this work in. I feel like, you know, you might be getting frustrated because the progress is really slow. This Knight of Pentacles, you know, is coming through, which can indicate that slow progress, but it is progress. And I think that for some of you, you're not recognizing that progress, and you may be thinking, oh, this is going too slow, or I'm not seeing the results. I keep putting all of this work in. I feel like, especially with this Eight of Pentacles card coming through, you know, some of you might be just kind of frustrated. You might be frustrated with people around you. And I sort of feel like for some of you too, with this magician relating into, you know, taking from relationships and relating it to this career, I feel like for some of you, you have a sense of I've been trying to create the magic within this. Now this could be a relationship, it could be, you know, career, but I feel like you've been trying to create, like you're trying to manifest something. I'm also getting here for relationships, Scorpio, I feel like some of you are trying to manifest, you're trying to do the work to balance yourself out is what I'm getting. I feel like you're trying to balance yourself out. I almost feel like some of you are recognizing the fact that you need to have more balance in order to have that successful relationship that you're seeking. But I feel like some of you haven't been happy in some aspects. This could possibly be like a current relationship, but I'm feeling like some of you are trying to find that balance of what makes you happy. Okay? I feel like you might have been giving a lot to relationships in the past and not receiving that balance back. Okay, so you are trying to achieve that balance. You might even be looking at another person or another way of achieving that goal. And I'm also getting that that might have something to do with your career in some aspect as well. I feel like, again, some of you might not be looking at the progress that you're achieving. You might be looking at it, it's like, this has been too slow, or maybe I should just move on, maybe I should make another choice. And it is saying here, if that is the case, or if it's not the case, it is saying that you need to move ahead with what it is that you love. I feel this Page of Cups coming in. This is like a renewed energy towards, finding something that gives you that sense of enjoyment and peace and love is what I'm getting. So it might be a matter of taking another look or taking a different viewpoint towards what it is that you're trying to achieve, whether this is career or your goals. I feel like taking another viewpoint towards it will help change that energy. Things might appear to be going slow, but they are making progress. It's just that you may not see the progress at this current point. And this can relate to those that are currently looking for some sort of career or trying to achieve something. You might not just be seeing the progress at this point. If you've been handing up resumes, let's just say, or you've been applying and things aren't coming to fruition, remember that I feel like it's happening. But it might also be the fact that, you don't want just any job. You want, a job that is going to satisfy you. And I feel like this, even though, again, you're not seeing the progress, allow it to form. Don't get frustrated this week is what I'm getting, because I feel like this is going to be a renewed sense of self-achievement this week, where you're going to start seeing that progress, or you're going to feel that progress within you. And then we've got Spirit. So we've got this Ace of Pentacles. It feels like maybe you might have been very ungrounded, the last couple of weeks, or this could even be the past couple of months. There might have been an awful lot of self-reflection that's coming in here. And I also feel like with this Page of Swords, you may have been cutting out some things that you are no longer are within your own ideology or your own thoughts. Like you might have looked at things previously as one way, and now you're starting to cut them out and allow a new perspective coming forward into the future, especially with this Ace of Pentacles. Again, I feel that for some of you that are getting frustrated, especially when it comes to, career accomplishments, goals, this Ace of Pentacles, this is such a beautiful card when it comes to material or earthbound type of things. It's the best word I could come up with, things. This is really telling you that your progress is coming forth, is what I'm getting. There is progress. It is coming forth. You will be seeing this, is what I'm getting. I feel like for some of you, you might have been having some dreams too. I don't know why, but I feel like with this Hermit and even with this Page of Swords, you might have like really had to do some, inner work. Okay, within yourselves. Like you might have been super quiet this month. Maybe you're, or the last little while, or maybe you're going to be quiet. And going into yourself this week and really figuring out what it is that you truly want, that balance, trying to find that balance and bringing it forward into the future is what I'm getting. So we're going to do some clarifying cards for all of us. I want to take a look. I was going to just pick an actual card for the relationships, but I feel like I just want to clarify what it's talking about in relationships in general here, okay? I feel like, yeah, Two of Cups. Oh, you have choices, Scorpio. You have choices. I feel like for some of you, you definitely haven't been happy in your current, maybe your current relationship or your current situation, or, maybe past situations are coming forth or whatever it is. But I feel like for some of you, this week is going to, like, this Two of Wands, it's like two paths, okay? And I feel, again, for some of you, there might be some sort of third-party situation. You might be looking at other people. You might be, this is, I feel like, the week where you're really allowing, I feel like you guys have been under so much stress, too. That's what I kept feeling like, even with these cards. It might even possibly be this Libra that's bringing you some stress. I'm not 100% sure. But I do feel like this, this energy in here, again, take this as it resonates, but I feel like this Nine of Swords, and remember I talked about dreams, the Nine of Swords can definitely indicate, nightmares or things that are keeping you up or things that are stressing you and not allowing you that contentment is what I'm getting. It feels like two paths here, and I feel like for some of you, you have choices to make. You have choices to make in regards to your relationships at this time. And I feel like for some of you, you definitely have gone in and done that inner work in order to determine what it is that you need, but you're not making that step towards it, I feel. And I feel like this week, this might be that step towards it, what it is that you're trying to accomplish, okay? You're now taking all of the tools that, you're taking that time that you had or the time that you're about to have going into yourself. You're looking at things from a different viewpoint or a different perspective, and you're now looking and you're taking all of those tools and you're now applying them in order to reach this contentment of that Two of Cups energy. This love card is what I'm getting. So it feels like, whether you've had, but it doesn't need to involve, more than, it doesn't need to involve two people, but it can also look at from the past, it can look at from the future, but I feel like there's some sort of decision that you're going to be making this week, or the beginning of, coming to the realization that you need to make this decision this week. I feel like making that is going to move you forward. It feels like you're not going to be in this Nine of Swords energy anymore. I feel like a sense of happiness. I feel like a sense of rejuvenation. I feel like you're going to make a decision and you're just going to go forward with it. You're taking the reins and moving forward. I feel like some of you are, there is a possibility that you might be letting go of a current relationship of some sort, or you might even be wanting to renew the energy within that relationship. So again, take it as it is, but I do feel like there are things that you're trying to make a decision on, and this week is the time that you're going to be making it, I feel, or at least taking the reins towards moving forward of making that decision is what I'm getting. So we're going to look into career, inspiration, goals, get some clarifying cards for that. I just feel, Scorpio, like there's things that are weighing on you right now, and you're not 100% sure which direction you're going to take. And this is going to be a week where you're really starting to go, okay, I know what it is that I want to do. And you may have already known what it is that you wanted to do, but you didn't make the progress towards that. And I feel like this is the week that you're going to be doing that. I feel like you need to speak to, I almost feel like you need to speak to two people. I feel like you need to take a chance towards something, okay? And again, the two people, that could be you and your, and somebody else. It doesn't need to be, two external people. But I keep feeling like there's something that you need to take a chance on and move towards that chance. I feel like for some of you, you've been really doing that work inside, really trying to figure out where it is that you want to go, but you can't sit there in limbo forever. I feel like now needs to be that time to start making that trek forward, okay? Sometimes we have to leave the past behind in order to find that happiness, okay? So we've got the Queen of Pentacles for career. We also have the Chariot, and the Magician. You've got all the tools. I feel like for some of you, you might have been getting some really good advice from, maybe somebody that you didn't quite expect to, or maybe somebody that you have admired to some degree as well. I feel like this Queen of Pentacles, there definitely could be a woman who has been giving you some advice, or maybe some sort of feminine energy, or, you know, this could be yourself. This even could be from your guides or your higher self. Take it as it is. But I do feel some excellent advice has been coming to you, and it's time to move ahead. And again, this could be the inner knowing of yourself. It doesn't need to be external advice. It just needs to be, it's time to take the reins. Like, you know, it's good to contemplate things and look at different paths, and, you know, should I do this? Should I do that? Whatever it is. But, you know, you can't sit in that energy forever, right? You have to, at some point, take the reins and go, okay, enough. I'm moving forward. It's time to go. It doesn't mean that the progress will sometimes happen overnight. Sometimes there is but the progress is happening. And if you've already sort of taken the reins and moved forward with this, but you're getting frustrated in the fact that you're not seeing the progress, just remember that the progress is happening. Okay, it just might not be being shown at this point in time, is what I'm getting. I feel like you need to sort of, again, if this doesn't have to do with another person that has been giving you advice, like, take your own advice. I feel like you need to take the advice that you are feeling inside of yourself and start moving forward with it in regards to whether this is career or love or, you know, relationships. But I feel like for some of you, you've been in this hermit mode. You're not, you know what you need to do, but you're not doing it. You know, you're sitting there and you're kind of looking, you know, and going, okay, well, I should do this, or I should do that, or, you know, I guess I've gotten this great advice. I feel like for some of you, you've gotten some really good advice from people, but you're also not acknowledging it. And again, it could be from that woman, but I feel like this is the week that you need to get your stuff together. Okay. Or that you're going to recognize that you need to get your stuff together. Like, really make those moves and strives towards that. So I want to clarify, you know, Spirit, and see what they have to say in regards to, yeah, Eight of Pentacles coming up. So doing that work and really taking your time. And well, you know, it's not about taking time, and you can take your time but still make progress. But basically what it's saying here is, you know, allow yourself that, put the energy of that passion towards, like, if you're sitting there and you're making the progress, or you're doing the work, but you're maybe not seeing that progress, sometimes it's because we are having to decide between the two paths. Should I do this? Should I do that? And it can kind of keep us stalled. So even though you're doing work, you're still sort of in the crossroads of the path. You know, if you're sitting here and you're like, should I do this? Should I do that? You might be doing work, or you might be doing the work that, you know, is needed, but you're still not making that choice to move forward. And I also felt that, you know, with that Chariot card coming in, but I feel like it's time to start putting that passion towards what it is that you want and creating it. Like, make actual creation towards it. Yeah, that's Seven of Swords. The only person I feel for you, Scorpio, that's deceiving you, well, there might be people deceiving you or giving you, but I feel like this is you, the Seven of Swords. You're not being, I feel like for some of you, may not being honest in regards to, again, I'm not saying you're not honest. It's the Seven of Wands, or the Seven of Swords, can indicate that we're sort of deceiving ourselves. Like, if we sit there and we're not making choices towards where it is that we want to go, we're kind of just hoping that maybe things will sort themselves out. It doesn't happen like that. And that's where we can deceive ourselves. Okay? And that's what I feel. It feels like it's time for you to start putting that passion towards what it is, what your goal is, and understanding that even if that goal isn't being shown, or isn't, the progress of that goal isn't being shown at this particular moment, that it is being created. It's having that faith that things are being created. But again, you may have some choices to make. You have to make that decision about which path it is that you want to go in order to see the progress. But take that path with that sense of passion. Understand it. Really take a look at it, and really take a look inside of yourself and see what is making you happy. What will give you that passion? Who will give you that passion? And make those choices. Okay? So we're going to get a final closing card from the universe. No, this can be confirmation of what a question that maybe you have in your mind. This could be just a message that Spirit or your angels want you to know. I am having trouble shuffling these. There we go. So we're looking for a card for Scorpio. You know, it's interesting, Scorpio, because I actually feel really, like as I'm doing your reading, throughout the whole reading, I felt a little bit off balance as well, okay? And sometimes what can happen is I will pick up the energy of what, you know, some of you may be possibly going through or trying to understand, or you're trying to, you know, create within you. And I did feel a little bit off balance. Like it almost feels like I'm a little bit, you know, confused or dizzy, or however I want to put, you know, however you want to put it. But it just feels like there needs to be, until you make a decision and make that choice and move forward, you might feel that you're going around in a circle, like you're, but again, you know, you need to stop deceiving yourself that things are just going to clear up and you know, they're going to sort themselves out. You have to sometimes make choices towards what it is, but you also can't be discouraged if you're not seeing the actual progress, I guess, showing up, because I do feel it is being shown that things are happening beneath the surface and they will appear very quickly for you. But again, you might have some choices to make in order to speed up the progress of, you know, what it is that you're trying to achieve. Okay, so that's what I keep getting. Soul solitude. Yeah, your soul needs attention. There are moments when it's important to get away, not just from the outside world, but to find a place where your soul can experience peace and quiet, a place for soul solitude. This is a time to pause and to reflect, a time for you. This is what I'm feeling, you know, Scorpio. I feel like it really is a time for you to, you know, we had that Hermit card come through, and it feels like this is really a time that you need to really make decisions, really choose and decide what it is that's going to make you happy going forward into the future. Okay, I do feel that for some of you, you might feel like you have responsibilities or obligations to other people, but I feel like, and which could be keeping you at the middle of a crossroads where you can't make a decision. But it is telling you it's time for you to go into yourself and really discover who it is that you are and what it is that you want at this time. All right, I truly hope that that has helped, and we're going to now look into Pisces. Okay, Pisces, so we are looking into relationships, career, spirit for you for this week, June 14th to the 21st. Let's see what's coming in. Queen of Cups. So we've got the Three of Wands, we've got the Two of Swords, we've got the Queen of Cups for relationships. We have the Wheel of Fortune, Page of Wands, and the Death card for careers, inspiration, you know, achievements, goals. For spirit, we have the Eight of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. All right, and then we're going to be doing some clarifying cards as well. So what I'm getting right off the bat, Pisces, is I feel like for some of you, you're really in this place of, okay, I'm just looking at the energy right now. I feel frustration for some of you. I do. I feel some sort of frustration. I feel like you know what it is that you want within relationships. Again, this doesn't need to be love. This could be family. It could be, you know, all-encompassing in relationships. I feel like you know what it is that you want. You see the end result of what it is that you're trying to achieve. And I do, but I am getting that for some of you, this Two of Swords energy, I feel like there's something that you may need to cut out or remove in order to achieve this happiness. So we're going to get some clarifying cards in regards to that as well. But I do feel that there's this sense of, you know, now if you're currently in a relationship, you know, this is a committed relationship or something like that, this could apply. Again, take these as they resonate. These are general, but this is the energy that is coming through. I feel like for some of you that might be in that committed relationship, I feel like you're seeing your progress come through. Like you're seeing the progress of things that you may have had to cut away from. You know, for some of you, it might have had to, you know, cut away from past people or past ideas or past, you know, thoughts or feelings. But you're seeing, you might be in a really good place within your relationship currently, is what I'm getting here. I feel like for some of you, you know, that might be seeking a relationship again, I feel like there's something that you need to cut out or you need to remove in order to achieve this happiness that you're trying to seek. Okay, but it's on the edge. It feels like this relationship that you're looking for is just on the edge. It's almost like there's this one element that just needs to, you know, be shifted in some way. So this is also coming through for careers, goals, and achievements. Now remember that these can also relate to relationships, but again, that Wheel of Fortune, you know, like when I say again, that Wheel of Fortune, because when I'm looking at this, I kept feeling like there's this one element that you need to remove, and I feel like doing so will shift, you know, make that Wheel of Fortune turn to the more positive. And I feel like this energy is going to be coming through. It's going to be prominent for you for this week. We've also got this Page of Wands, so it feels like a renewed passion coming through, and that Death card, which is the transition. So I feel like some of you may have already recognized the fact that you need to shift one element, and you're doing so in order to change this wheel, in order to make that transition towards something new and passionate for yourselves come through. I feel like for some of you within, again, this could be career, I feel like some of you, there might be a new sense of achieving your goals within your career. You might be looking for a new job. You might be looking for something that gives you a new sense of passion. And you might even be literally transitioning out of some, you know, job into another job. Now that doesn't mean, you know, completely changing careers, although it could, you know, especially with that with that Wheel of Fortune coming through. But it might even be a transition from, oh heck, it could be one from one desk to another, but take it as it resonates, okay? Take this all as it resonates for you, but there is some sort of change coming through. But what I'm feeling is that through this change, it's going to bring this new sense of freedom, a new sense of joy is what I'm really getting, especially with this Nine of Cups card coming in. This is like the wish card. It's really interesting because I feel like for some of you, you were really in this Eight of Swords energy. This is somebody holding themselves back mentally and internally. Like they're not letting themselves move forward. They know what it is that they need to do, but they're stuck looking at this, you know, this Four of Cups type of energy. They're not doing the work that they need to do in order to start shifting these gears forward, in order for it to achieve what it is that they're trying to achieve. They're stuck in that energy. And I feel like this week you're letting go of that, and you're actually making those moves towards this transition, which will bring you that joy and happiness that you have been seeking. So let's get some clarifying cards for these. We're going to clarify relationships. I want to actually kind of take a look at that Two of Swords energy, but this might be, you know, general for the whole row of in regards to relationships. All right. So I feel, yeah, Page of Swords. Nine of Cups again. Interesting. And that Ace of Pentacles. Somebody's watching you, Pisces. I feel like somebody's watching you, or, you know, they might be, you know, watching you on social media. I feel like they might be, you know, paying attention to you. And I'm almost feeling, this week, you know, what I'm getting here is with this Two of Swords, I feel like you're taking the blindfold off for some of you in regards to relationships of some sort. You're taking that blindfold off and you're cutting out what it is. Again, these emotions, like this Eight of Swords energy, this Four of Cups energy, you're removing those from your inner being in order to become more grounded, in order to find that happiness that you're seeking. I feel like there's somebody on the cusp that has been watching you. You might, now again, if you're in some sort of committed relationship, this also could indicate, you know, take it as it resonates, but, you know, it could be like your partner is been maybe paying more attention to you lately, something along that line. But I am getting here, I feel like some of you are really, like, this is a really good thing. You're really, this Eight of Swords energy, you're moving away from. You're moving away from this Eight of Swords, this Four of Cups energy. You're allowing this wheel to shift and turn. I feel like I'm hearing the words, you're understanding the energies of the universe right now. You're understanding them, but you're also applying them. You're not just sitting there in this Eight of Swords energy where you're, yeah, I know what I should do. I know what I should do. I know what I should do. Yeah. Now you're applying it. You're applying it to not only what it is that you're seeking as far as your goals and achievements, but you're seeking it. You're applying it to relationships and allowing yourself to transition out of this Eight of Swords energy where you feel caught and trapped and not moving forward. You feel stuck. You know, that's what I keep getting. So we're going to look into careers, achievements, goals. I really like this energy because it feels stronger. I do feel a sense of still being a little bit stuck where you are. Like, it almost feels like, I almost feel like, you know, you just need a little boot, you know, just a little push. Okay, you know, come on out. Let's tackle this energy, you know, stop wallowing, you know, in what it is that you don't need. But we're looking, yeah, see, and there's that kind of stuck energy. Okay, that's what I'm getting. This sort of stuck energy, this devil type of, I feel like you might let some of that energy go, of that Eight of Swords energy, but it keeps sneaking back in. Okay, it might be still sneaking back in, but look at that. We've also got that transition card. Okay, so it's time to transition out of that. Stop bringing yourself back into this negative place. And again, it doesn't need to be relationships. This could be careers or goals. I feel like transitioning out. It's time to move forward with whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. That Seven of Cups. Some of you, yeah, you might have some decisions to make, or maybe you're trying to make a decision. Some of you could be kind of a little bit caught in a sense of a fantasy world as well, which is really bringing you into this negative place. Now, fantasy doesn't always necessarily need to be a bad or a good thing. It's just basically saying you're so focused on the fantasy of what it is that it's actually bringing you into this place of a little bit of negativity. Like, it's time to release that. You use that Ace of Swords and cut it out. Allow the universe to show you the path. Allow yourself to receive the path ahead. Okay, is what I'm getting. I'm really feeling here like there's a huge shift that is either happened or it's about to happen for you, Pisces. A huge shift where you're really starting to look at things with this I just have this renewed sense of passion, this renewed joy, the sense of joy, like actually seeing your future and knowing that you can accomplish it. Whereas before you were sort of maybe stuck in this place of, I don't know if I can get it. I don't see any progress. It's not happening. Yeah, that King of Pentacles is coming through. So we're looking into here, again, we're getting another, you know, sort of resting card, okay? In the Tower. So it's interesting because I do feel like what is Spirit trying to say to you here is it is seriously time now to, whatever it is that you may possibly have or maybe are or maybe even going to be wallowing in, it's time to move forward. It's time to shake this up. Release this devil energy. Okay, now again, you know, devil doesn't need to be the actual devil. It's basically saying stop getting yourself into this circle of feeling like things aren't happening, or you're not seeing the progress, or you're kind of getting into this place of self-defeat is what I keep getting, okay? It is time to take that energy. It's time to move away from that Eight of Swords and that Four of Cups energy where you're just like, oh, poor woe is me. Things aren't going. Things aren't happening. I feel sad. I feel depressed. I'm trying to move forward, but I can't make, you know, it's time to move out of this. Okay, it is really time to drop that sense of energy. If you need to, take some time to yourself this week and allow that energy to actually disappear. Like really, really work through it. It's not an easy thing, especially like when we're looking at that Tower coming through. You know, sometimes it's not an easy thing to really work through that progress. But the one thing I love about the Tower, when I see the Tower, when you break it down and it goes down to the ashes, it builds itself up into whatever it is that you truly want it to be. And that's what I feel that Wheel of Fortune is telling you, is start looking into forward into the future. Whether this is jobs, careers, goals, the only person that I feel is holding themselves back at this point in time is truly you. And it's time to really like kick, you know, that self, depriving type of spirit. Okay, get rid of that and really allow yourself to transition. Allow yourself to transition. I do feel like you're getting help. You know, this Ace of Swords is coming through for me. I always see that as sort of like some sort of, you know, downloads from the universe or spiritual help at times. But it also indicates like sometimes, you know, really cutting away things that are no longer necessary. And that transition card, that death card is coming through. I feel like, you know, you obviously, you know that you can achieve your dreams. You got this Nine of Cups coming through. You know what it is that you want to achieve. You've got this Wheel of Fortune, but I feel like right now the only person that could be holding you back is really you at this moment. And I feel like it's really time to let that go and really take the reins, okay? And allow yourself to heal what it is that you need to heal and allow yourself to move forward. I feel like for some Pisces out there, and again, this isn't going to resonate with everybody, take it as it is, but I feel like for some Pisces, this is going to be a rejuvenation of your entire spirit type of week. And I get, you know, it may have already happened. It might be at the beginning of it, going into the week. You might be feeling it closer to the end of the week or however it is. But I do feel like this is the week that you're going to really look inside and go, okay, now I'm making those changes. Now I'm making those changes of really seriously moving forward and accomplishing what it is that I need to accomplish and what I want to accomplish. So this is going to be a closing card from the universe. This could be a message from your guides. It could be a message of some sort of confirmation for you directly. It could be, you know, a message from your higher self. We're just going to take a look and see what the universe has to say. And it says, have fun. Stop. When was the last time you had fun? When was the last time you took a chance and did something silly? Something totally unlike you, something just for the joy of it? It's long overdue for you to let go of your analytical mind and give yourself and your soul permission to have fun. I love this because I do feel like you were so caught in this energy of, you know, that, you know, being brought down or being, you know, that tower energy or feeling like you were just not moving forward. It was just this feeling of not feeling positive, not feeling happy. And I feel like, you know, for some of you that are seeking that relationship, when you're stuck in that energy, people can feel that negative, that sort of, you know, putting ourselves into a negative place type of energy. And I feel like having fun and letting go and allowing the universe to do the work of what it needs to do. But it can't do it when you're worried about how it's going to be created, or if it's never going to happen, or how it's going to happen. When you're stuck in that cycle, the universe can't come in and clean it and clear it and create it for you. Okay. And I feel like that fun card is telling you, you know, from your own guides, from your own angels, from the universe, saying, go and have some fun. Let us sort of take care of what needs to be taken care of in order to help you achieve what you're trying to achieve. So I truly hope that that has helped. Water signs, have a really good week and take care. Thank you.